Hello everyone, this is Yo-Yo Wu, and today you can see that I invited my friend Nillah to the live stream. So Nillah, say hi to our audiences.
Hi everybody, nice to meet you guys, I suppose.
All right.
Yeah, it's not a thing people say because I'm not quite sure if people say that on television.
Oh, you said it perfectly. All right, so today you can see we have a lot of good things prepared for the live stream. At the same time, we'll be talking a lot of interesting things about Spring Festival in China. At the same time, those ways to travel sustainably in 2021. And today I would like to chat with Nillah, at the same time to chat with the audiences. So if you have any kind of questions or suggestions or comments, you can leave in the comments right here on Facebook or YouTube or Weibo. So thank you so much for watching. This is Yo-Yo Wu. So let's get started. First of all, Nillah, it is Friday. How do you feel about Friday morning?
Oh, fantastic. I mean, I was just telling you that I'm looking forward to, sort of lounging tomorrow because it's Saturday. We all love Saturdays,
Oh,
right?
yeah, we do.
And,
what would you do on Saturday?
I mean, it's all about, catching up with TV,
Yeah, videos.
It's Saturday, and so I tend to spare the mornings, sort of just relaxing, to take the day slow, maybe until the afternoon, and then go exercise. And then after that, maybe now I start thinking about seeing friends. But I know we all love, we all love weekends.
We did.
And when it comes to sort of, especially now because of the coronavirus, of the pandemic still raging, so a lot of us, it's all about social distancing and staying at home, hunkering down, and just catching up on those really good television that previously we would say it's being lazy, not doing anything but watching TV. But these days, it's allowed to be lazy.
Oh yeah, indeed. Since you mentioned about that, you're catching up with friends and you're going out, but you also have to be cautious.
Right. Yeah.
So mentioning about COVID-19, we would also like to say to our audiences around the world, please take good care of yourself. And also when we talk about going out, we also have to be cautious. So what are the ways that you think we should be cautious about?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, obviously these are basic things when we talk about how to be safe during these strange times.
Exactly.
I think for me in particular, it's usually just limiting how much of time I spend outside in public places, and particularly in crowded areas where you just never know. Obviously right now in Beijing, we're lucky enough that the situation is not as dire as it is in places like London or New York or even in my hometown, Nairobi. And so as much as I feel a bit more safe right now, I still am a bit more anxious not to spend too much time going out to hang out all the time with friends like I used to do pre-pandemic. So right now for me it's all about, okay, so like you asked me again about the weekend. So right now I plan my time in such a way that if I go out to meet up with a friend or two, then we only do that once a month, and we do it during the day maybe go for brunch, and then during brunch time the restaurants or the locations we go to are not very crowded, and so we sit there. It's nice. The air is fresher and less people. We hang out, catch up, and then head back home again and lounge over Netflix, over iQIYI, just binge watch television, good old television. And
live stream, and our live stream as well.
And if there is a live stream or two, obviously, and then you can watch it on your phone, because most of us when we are staying at home, remember, as much as just lying down on your couch, you're also scrolling through your phone. So sometimes I'm watching simultaneously a live stream and watching television as well. So it's pretty interesting how the human brain can actually multitask.
Exactly, and they totally changed our lifestyle as
right,
well.
Yeah.
And when you mentioned about you're going out to meet friends, like you try to limit the timing and you try to limit the frequency as well.
Absolutely,
when you enter into the restaurant, did you notice if there's something different than your previous experience right now in Beijing? Like, how could you elaborate more?
Okay, obviously, like pre-pandemic periods, like there were definitely more tables in restaurants, and there are some restaurants I've been to where, and even pubs, and you're sitting. So I've been to a restaurant where you are not allowed to sit across from each other. So, for example, if we were sitting on a table with a friend, then we will have to sit like this, the way you and I are sitting, and it will have to be a
like
meter
this. Yeah.
apart. So, like, if you, in the beginning, it was a bit strange and really, really peculiar, because you're used to, when you go out with friends, you're sitting across from each other and you're having conversations and looking at each other's eyes. But now it's more like, okay, so we're looking that way, but we are talking to each other, or we are having a beer and we're looking at each other.
We're keeping a distance.
I mean, it's a bit peculiar, but then it's the new normal, you know. It's a new normal, and I think a lot of us have gotten used to it. And another thing I've noticed, like lots of restaurants do sort of offer disinfectants before you get into before you sit down.
Yeah.
And so they disinfect the spaces, and you've got to disinfect your hands right before you actually get into the inside the space.
Exactly. At the gate, yeah.
I mean, at the door, not at the gate. But there are some places they actually do it at the gate and then again into the restaurant.
Just to be cautious.
Yes. Yeah.
And usually when we say in Chinese the new normal, which means 新常态, it is the new normal, 新常态. New is like 新的常态, normal. And when we talk about that, we need to keep a social distance. There's another Chinese saying, say, 距离产生美, which means the distance make it prettier. when you're keeping a distance
I'm not
from
quite
each other.
sure that makes a lot of sense, but
Yeah.
there you go.
But yeah, so sometimes when right now, even though things gradually going back to normal, we still have to be cautious. And to give some tips to our audiences around the world, I know that everyone is right now experiencing this. But also, when you mentioned about when we are staying indoors, we will be scrolling down our phone or watch TV or staring at the screen of the computer. But what should we also be cautious about? Because we're either outside just walking to our working places or working remotely at home. Does it mean that we are limiting our exercising time? But if
I don't think so.
Couch
I mean,
all the
I
time,
don't think so. Like, if just because you're not going outdoors does not necessarily mean you should stay. You should not exercise. That's just an excuse, you know. Because you can still do exercise at home. Because
do you have some suggestions? Like, what kind of exercise can we do at home?
Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. There's lots and lots and lots of exercises. And on top of that, the smartest thing you can always do, if you don't have television or you don't want to watch something on television, what you can simply do is download an app. There's tons and tons of apps out there. Choose an exercise that you like and sort of tailor it to your own needs. For example, if you're into yoga, look for an app that offers yoga, and then a lot of these apps you can also choose to sort of, you know, set your exercise to 5 or 10 minutes, you know. But for me, usually, because I'm very visual, I like big screens, you know. Because then that makes me feel, if I'm at home, then it makes me feel as if I am in a gym or a studio space. And so what I do is put on really loudly a YouTube or whatever video. I love, particularly when it comes to exercise, like Tabata, you know. So I put on a really loud video of Tabata and I follow through, and usually this takes about 40 minutes. And then after that, and you know, I'm exercising indoors, because there are loads and loads of exercises that you can actually do. Even right now we're sitting here, I could literally be exercising, but just like, so I could, you know.
Quietly, you know,
so staying at home is not necessarily about just, you know, living a sedentary lifestyle. You know, I feel like that's just an excuse. But unfortunately, it's always easier said than done. Even I myself, I found myself, you know, gaining weight. A lot of us have gained weight. I haven't met somebody who said they lost weight in the last 12 months. Everybody has put on a pound or two. And that's because as much as we want to exercise as well, you know, I try, but it's not as consistent as me going to the gym. The motivation is not really there. So you can actually exercise. Also, there's a time I used to run around my living room and run around the living room.
Run around your living room?
Yes, run around the living room.
How big is your living room?
Taking. It's a small. It's enough for one person. So I would run to the living room, run to the bathroom, then back to the bedroom like that, and then make myself, you know. You know, bring my heart rate up, and I feel like a lot of people had to. I mean, they say like necessity is the mother of all innovation. So
exactly,
we all have to done strange things just to make sure we exercise, or we keep our minds, you know, not go crazy. And this is one way I feel, particularly this time when we're talking about mental well-being, which is really, really important, because when you're in your own space, sometimes
like for a few days or for a long time?
For a long time.
That will cost
It
some
can
time,
actually
yeah.
it can actually affect your mental well-being, and so it's important for you to do even the craziest things. I mean, I saw at the very beginning of last year a lot of Chinese people were, you know, very, very innovative. And I saw a guy who was fishing, like created a living room, and I think perhaps he loves fishing. So him and his son were turned their fish tank into like a lake, and they were like sort of fishing. That was really cool.
That was really cool.
Yeah, but going back again to sort of how people should actually be. I mean, obviously this is something that everybody has been hearing a lot. I mean, we all know about washing your hands. We all know about social distancing. We all know about wearing your masks and using disinfectants. But it's not. I think the most important reason is to, when you're doing this. I mean, for me, sometimes it's such a hassle. Like, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, now this mask is going to ruin my makeup. You know. But then when you think about why you're doing it, and then you just, you know, say, this is just temporary, you know, because I have to protect myself, and I've got to also protect other people. And that's the way, if we all think like that, then we will get to a point where we beat this thing. I mean, until we all get vaccinated. But until then, we need to sort of follow the regulations of where you are, because every country, every city, every region has their own. Follow the regulations, and then, because I for once, I'm really just I'm just impatient. I want for us to. I know we're not gonna go back to the old normal, but I just want this new normal to get to a point where we're not. It's not mandatory to wear a mask, for example, you know, or it's when I go to a restaurant, I can still look into my friend's face when I'm talking to them because they're sitting from across the table from me. So, I mean, these are just basic, simple rules that people really need to follow. On that, again, and of course, making sure you're taking care of your mental well-being, because that's really crucial.
That is really kind of you to remind other people like this. And thank you so much. If you just tune in, this is Yo-Yo Wu broadcasting live right here, and you're watching Sierra Island Chinese live stream. And with me together, today we invited our friend Nillah right here to join the live stream to, first of all, talk about the ways how to travel sustainably in 2021, and those kind of tips that we should be careful about during this special time. And if you are interested, you can also leave some comment right here on Facebook and YouTube and Weibo. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will respond to your comments as soon as we saw it. And in the second part, we will also be talking about something that we will plan for the Chinese Spring Festival. At the same time, there's a big holiday in China, and later on I'll ask my friend Nillah like what's her plan for the Spring Festival holiday. At the same time, what are the things that we should be cautious about during this holiday? And right now, let's see the comments part. You can also pose some questions to my friend Nillah as well, right here in the live show, and she will answer your questions as soon as we saw it right now. Okay, so we've seen a lot of new comments. Noy says, 我是秘鲁人, I'm from Peru. And Zone says, hello, this page. Hello, everyone. Hi, how are you doing over there? And Jing Ching says, good morning. Hi, good morning. And Abdar says, good morning. So right now you're watching Sierra Island Chinese live stream right here. And today we are talking about those ways we should be cautious about for the traveling sustainably in 2021. At the same time, the Chinese Spring Festival is coming. And that's directly moving to the second topic.
Right, yeah.
And right here, we're talking about the holidays. And also to coincide our first topic, to talk about Spring Festival holiday, what should we be careful about for this holiday? I mean, that is a long holiday in China.
I mean, that's a big question, but a good one. I think, again, it's all, again, remembering to follow the rules that have been set, the rules that have been there to keep all of us safe. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to be moving around. I've seen a
lot of people are staying at home as well.
Right. This is the world. This is usually the whole world is usually watching Chinese New Year, because this is the world's largest human migration.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting, you know, sort of watching this. I plan to sort of stop by the train stations just to see, particularly the Beijing station, because you can stand outside and just to watch people.
Oh yeah.
You know,
people mountain, people sea. We say 人山人海.
Yeah, although I'm not going anywhere. But I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are staying
At home.
You know, not staying at home, but more like staying wherever they
in
are.
the city that they're working in.
Yeah, exactly. So I know a lot of people are choosing. I mean, it's pretty sad because we all want to see family and friends, but a lot of people are, you know, sort of giving up that to make sure they're staying safe and keeping others safe. But those who are not staying safe and they have to go, and you have to go, then you have to go. But as long as you're keeping safe, again, wear your mask, wash your hands. Sing "Stay Alive, Stay Alive" for 20
That's
seconds.
for sure. That's for sure.
You know, and just generally, you know, just take care of yourself. You know, we cannot stress that enough. Take care of yourselves.
Yeah. So when you mentioned about you're staring at people walking around in the subway station,
It's called people
or in
watching.
and
I
in
love
the
a
train
good people
station.
watching,
Yeah. So during the Spring Festival, when we mentioned about that is the biggest human migration during around the
world.
year. Yeah, in the world.
It's almost like a world wonder.
Oh yeah,
the ninth world wonder.
There's a number. You know that I did some research back in the year 2019 and 2018.
Right.
During the Spring Festival travel rush, do you know number of trips that were made in China?
I don't know.
Can you even guess the
Billions.
number? Yes, that was like about 3 billion trips were made during the Spring Festival travel rush. That was back in the year 2018 and 2019. But you know, during this year, the things could be a little bit different because last night there's another report that's showcasing the number of trips that will be made during the Spring Festival rush compared with the last year's Spring Travel Rush. The number has dropped about 40%.
Understandably so.
Yes. So that was because more people are advised or they choose to stay at home.
Yeah.
So that is a little bit change, but I'm sure that with all of our efforts together and when we have already cleared this situation and if everything goes back to normal, I'm sure that we can travel again safe and sound.
Yeah.
So this is more like we are enduring this period of time altogether.
I'm really,
as you said.
oh my goodness, like I said, I'm so impatient, I can't wait, because usually for
I
me,
can't wait
I mean,
either.
for you as a Chinese person, like, it's very, very important this is the time that you go to see family and friends, you know, spend time together because you haven't seen them in a while. For me, as a foreigner who lives in China, it's usually that time like, yay, I can go now to the beach somewhere in the southeast of Asia and just relax and lounge on the beach and, you know, soak in some sun. Because again, I'm craving for a bit of like warm sun. Of course, there is sun outside here, but it's cold, you know. But again, because of that, as me as well, I'm going to have to stay, you know, and sort of maybe binge watch travel documentaries to take my mind on a beach somewhere in the Philippines.
Right in the living room.
Or in Hainan, I don't know, right in my living room.
All right, so what's our plan for the Spring Festival holiday?
Yeah, so again, just, you know, lounging at home, watching a lot of travel documentaries. I think it's a good way to sort of escape. And when you're watching a documentary about travel and you're seeing the beautiful seas and you're seeing people doing, you know, cruising as if you're back to normality, then it kind of gives you that hope. It makes you look forward to what's gonna be, what life is gonna be like. You know, it's like watching, you know, people. If you're a single person and you're watching, you know, a lovely couple, you know, looking really happy, you feel good. Feel good. You know, you imagine yourself one day also being in that situation. So for me, it's the same thing. When I watch those travel documentaries, I just choose a destination and decide, okay, today I want to go to the Mediterranean. I want to go to the south of France, for example, or I want to go to Hainan. And then I find a documentary that has been made about that particular island or about particular region, and I just like sit there and soak in the knowledge and the trip. You know, so at that point, physically, I'm on my couch, but mentally, I'm in the south of France.
Yeah. So a lot of people are making this kind of list of all the places that they want to go to when they can travel.
Yeah. I mean, you could also do, because I saw, I think this was in South Korea, people got really creative, where people was turning their living rooms and their bedrooms into different destinations. There was one family that became really famous, went viral globally because they turned their living room to look like Hawaii, because they had planned to go to Hawaii last summer. So because they couldn't go, so they recreated a little Hawaiian island in their own living room. And then in the bedroom they changed it to look like a bedroom of the hotel room they wanted to go and
sleep
have
even
in
a
Bali.
In
I mean, it was hilarious, and I thought, but then they did spend quite a lot of money, because you can imagine there's furniture involved, there's like bringing in design, and I think they spent about $67,000 on just doing all those changes. But again, they were rich, so.
Yeah. So maybe it costs less to
not
travel
all of us can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, the best I can do is just watch,
watch them doing that.
Watch other people, or just basically watch documentaries, like I said. Yeah.
Or sometimes right now in China we have the video meetings. You can always chat with your friends and toasting to your friends.
Yeah, but I do that almost on a weekly basis, but it's not really the same, because
exactly, you can't replace it with a hug.
Yeah, and also I'm not my personality. I'm not the kind of person who likes to spend a lot of time chatting back and forth on a phone with somebody. So for me, I'd rather meet up, in person, or unless if you're going through something and you really need company and you really need to talk, then I can make an exception. But I'm not really a huge fan of like back and forth on or staying on the phone and just chatting. I find it as a complete waste of my time. I find it like I could be using that time to do something more useful, But then again, it's just. It's all about finding ways to make ourselves stay sane during this particular time,
and cope with this time.
Right, and another thing is one thing I realized, I noticed I need to learn to make some Chinese food. Particular.
Right.
I've got loads and loads of like. Ingredients and condiments that are Chinese, but I never really use them because I just end up eating in the canteen all the time. And so when it's Spring Festival and you don't want to go out, and then you find that recipe and try out, and I think that's what I'm going to try out this time around as well.
Yeah. So the foreign equivalent of the Chinese Spring Festival would be Christmas.
Oh yeah,
it's more like a
family,
Christmas, like a family reunion.
Yeah, and it's usually crazy. Also, people traveling back and forth. And
and we also have the Spring Festival Eve dinner, which is the most important dish.
Yeah.
More like 年夜饭 in Chinese. 年夜饭.
年夜饭.
Yes,
what is
it
that?
means 年 means New Year, and
right.
夜 means Eve, and dinner. 饭晚餐. So for all the Chinese dishes, when we're choosing, we must choose those kind of dishes we love the most.
Right.
And what kind of Chinese dish would you prefer?
If I were to choose, I think I would go for 米线.
Oh, 米线. Okay.
I don't know. I really love 米线. I also love dumplings. I mean, I know a lot of people will be expecting, especially if they're Chinese, like, oh, you're a foreigner. You should be thinking about gumbao jiding and Beijing that. But for me, it's just the simple noodles and stuff like that. And I also love huoguo.
Hot pot.
I mean, I really love hot pot, particularly in these times when it's really, really cold.
So what would you be putting into the dumplings? What kind of filling, and what would you put into the hot pot?
I definitely like pork and celery. And carrots. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm a creature of habit, and every time I go to a dumpling restaurant, that's what I'm always looking for. That, or usually, basically, especially me and one of my friends, like he really, really loves eating dumplings. So we always just, because we can't, normally these places you can't really read we can't not read the menus. It's our fault, we never bothered to learn.
Would you look at a picture? Is there a picture of it?
So the strategy we use is there's usually no pictures.
Okay.
So it's just written menu, And so what we do is we memorize the character of a roll, like meat. So we just look for the character roll, then we know, okay, these are meats, and then you ask the waiter, like, 这个是猪肉还是鸡肉还是
That was good. So meat, the Chinese character, meat roll. That was a great pronunciation.
Yeah.
That was great. Okay, so talking about the some of the things that we'll eat during the Spring Festival Eve dinner.
Yeah.
You know, there's other thing. I prepared something for you. And right here
Oh
today,
yeah,
we'll try this.
I've seen this before. And
We'll try this.
And I always wonder
what that is, right?
That is,
okay.
yeah.
So actually, during the Spring Festival Eve, we will prepare a lot of nuts, 坚果,
Right. These
on
are
the
nuts?
table.
Okay.
Yeah, this is nuts. I especially choose this one because I think you might not know how to open it, so that I can challenge.
Right.
All right. So let's try to open it in your own way. So this is one of the nuts.
Oh wait, these are these not cashew nuts?
No, they're not. So this is pecan.
What do you call this?
山核桃.
But what do you call them in English?
Pecan.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
See, even in English, I don't even know.
All right, so try to open it in your way and be very careful for your finger. Okay.
This looks like it needs somebody to do it for you.
If you're the queen, sure, I'm sure you can.
No, but seriously.
Okay.
This one is stuck
It
inside.
smells so good.
This one is stuck. I mean, how do you...
When I open it, it doesn't stuck. So you can open
I don't know.
it
I think
like
I
right
opened
here.
it the wrong way. Okay,
You
so
can
I
open
don't,
it
I don't
according
have
to the
this
crabs.
one is crab.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
This one is not. So
Is it not?
yeah, but anyway, should I eat now?
You like it? You like it?
It's very nutty.
Yeah. You like it?
Not really.
All right.
It's it's got this. It's
see
very
this?
very strong in terms of flavor. It's have a very strong.
Like smoking flavor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that the reason why I don't quite like it is
Uh-huh.
because naturally I'm not a huge fan of nuts at all.
Oh, really?
No.
Uh-huh.
And this one, I think what makes it even make me not want to eat nuts is because it's a little bit sweet as well. I don't have a sweet tooth. I have a savory tooth. So I don't like sweet things.
Oh, really?
No.
So
I prefer that's what I
salty?
think this is why I eat a lot of roe. You should have brought some roe.
yeah, I should have bought the sorry pork dumplings. Yeah, I made it the other day.
No, but I think if you're somebody who really loves nuts, and it's actually quite nice and crunchy and a bit soft, it's not as like, it doesn't have
Not very
a
hard.
strong bite to it. So this one for somebody who, even a child can eat this, a child with no teeth,
Yeah.
because it's not very hard to chew. It doesn't require a lot of chewing.
And it is with a complicated texture. It is both soft and a little bit firm.
I'm gonna give it the rest of you. I can't,
A little sweet.
I can't handle it. I mean, it's quite nice for somebody who loves nuts. I can see why people would love it, but for me, it's just like things to do with nuts.
You're not a
into
fan.
it. No.
You're not a fan. Okay, so for this kind of nuts, or you can choose several nuts and you put it into a plate and you just place it on the table.
Right.
Usually the little girls and boys, the little children, they will prefer to eat the nuts during the Spring Festival. So that is why we
So,
prepared
but
it.
is there a specific time to eat them, or you just like throughout the night you can eat them whenever, snack on them whenever, whatever?
Usually all year round or whenever you want to eat it, you can eat it. But during the Spring Festival, for every household, people will prepare a plate of nuts
Yeah.
on their table. And also a plate of candies, if possible, they'll place them on the table as well. So
Right.
usually that is a time for the family reunion. So that is why a lot of kids would love to eat this kind of snacks.
Okay.
And this is better compared with the candies because sometimes when you eat a lot of sugar, it is bad for your tooth. But the nuts would be healthy.
It's healthier,
Yeah.
but because the oils in there are much healthier as well.
Exactly,
There's lots
omega.
of vitamins as well. I've got a question because different parts of the world, they do have different traditions. And one of my favorite traditions around the world is, I think, in Mexico or is in Spain. Before 12 seconds before the stroke of midnight, they eat 12 grapes. Like you're supposed to eat 12 grapes
Oh, what is that for?
within 12 seconds before the New Year gongs.
I heard about it. Yeah, I heard about it. Yeah.
And obviously, like I think in America, it's like people believe in the midnight kiss. Like the minute it hits midnight, you have to kiss somebody.
Oh, really?
for you to-
American audiences, do you? Okay.
Yeah. So do you have something like that?
Oh, yeah, we have. When we are celebrating the Spring Festival, usually the Spring Festival Eve dinner is the most important dinner.
Yeah.
And people will gather around and watch the Chinese Spring Festival Gala by CCTV. And when we are watching it together, usually there will be somebody who is preparing the dumplings.
Right.
And when it's near the midnight, and they will prepare it, almost finished it, and about midnight, like 5 minutes to it, and people will just place a plate of dumplings. And all of us, yes, all of us will be eating dumplings and counting to the countdown.
Yeah.
And then we'll watch the Spring Festival Gala, because in the gala, people are also counting down, and we'll eat the dumplings. And you know, there's
so what is the reason? What is the meaning behind this? What's the story behind these dumplings?
So usually the dumplings, you can see the character of it, and you can see the shape of it. It looks like the gold ingot. So it symbolizes that you can be wealthy and you can have a lot of happiness.
Dude, I eat a lot of dumplings and I never get rich.
That is why you're so rich.
You're gonna make me eat more dumplings than I should be eating.
And you know, there's another story about just like the 12 grapes. Do you know that people will put a little bit of peanuts into the dumplings? Maybe one or two. Usually there's one.
So
and
you've
then
got to find it.
You don't need to find it. Because during the family reunion, we eat together, and you would choose one and eat it, and the one.
So you're all eating from one particular bowl.
Yes.
Okay.
And so you're eating the dumplings, and the one who can eat the peanuts inside of the dumplings. There's only one dumpling who has the peanuts, and that one is the luckiest person, and he will has the most happiness around the year.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or sometimes, you know, for
what
sanitary
if it's
issues.
What if it's just me with my plate of dumplings and
you
I eat
the happiness
everything?
person? Yeah, so you're the one. You're the chosen one. And then, you know, in the old days, when people, you know, have this kind of tradition, they put a coin.
Right.
They put a coin into the dumpling. And the one who can find the coin, it is, you
What
know,
if you
not very
swallowed it?
clean.
This is not healthy.
Yeah, it's not very healthy. So that is why nowadays, people no longer put the coin into the dumplings, you know, for the sanitary issues.
Right.
But right now we put another kind of jujube, date or peanuts or something else, or the kind of the nuts to put into the dumplings. So the one who can actually bite it will have the most wealth and the most happiness in the upcoming new year.
Have you ever done that?
Of course. And I have
So you're rich now.
I would say I'm happy. Happiness is much more important than money because I don't have that much. But you know, this is one of the games.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah, it's one way to put it.
Okay.
And also during the Spring Festival, there's another important thing that we will do during the Spring Festival. That is why we prepared all of these.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering what these are for.
All right, did you see this? So this is the character of Fu, which means happiness, luck, and fortune. Happiness, luck, and fortune. Fu.
Okay,
Fu.
So happiness,
luck, and fortune. Yes. So for the Spring Festival, a lot of people right now, if you are walking around the supermarkets right now in China, you can see a lot of supermarkets have a special zone of New Year fair that they will sell the redness things. They will sell a lot of red clothes, red scarves.
I actually bought
couplets and
the
lanterns. And the bell.
Yeah, I was wondering. So, where do you put those? Because I bought two. To give one to my mother.
Yeah, on the side of the door. Or you can
For what purpose? Because then if it's windy or somebody keeps opening and closing the door, then it's really noisy, isn't it?
No, you're on the side of the door. Or you can just put it on the wall.
Okay.
Yeah, just like decorations. But do you know why all of those things are in the color of red instead of like purple, blue, or green? Why is the color of red? Because in the Chinese history, people believe that the color of red has power to ward off the evils. Yeah, so that is why we are using the color of red on all this kind of fortune character, on the lanterns, on the scarf, on the clothes, and on the couplets. Everything is red.
Okay, since you mentioned that everything is red part, what is the story behind red underwear and red socks during Chinese New Year?
All right, I saw that in the supermarket as well. So do you know that for those people, we have to mention about Chinese 12 zodiacs. Because if you were exactly born in the same zodiac as this year, if you are in the Chinese zodiac of ox,
if you were born in the year of the ox,
you have to wear something red to protect yourself. It's called your 本命年. If you can choose some socks or scarf or something much more, personal.
Can you gift it to somebody as well?
Yes, you can. But you're giving. the red underwear, somehow you know that was to be your close close friend.
Does that mean if, let's say,
okay,
for example, you are, for example, let's say if you were
which year were you born?
I'm a pig.
You're a pig.
I'm a pig, thankfully.
No,
because I don't want to be walking around and everybody thinking, oh, she's wearing red underwear. You know, that would be a bit weird.
People wouldn't know unless you tell them.
No, but they will not.
It's my year.
If they know it's your year, then people will assume you are actually.
But you
underneath everything is red. You know.
You can wear something else. It's the red one. You don't have to, exactly point to that part. You can just say, okay, I'm wearing the red scarf or the red belt. So this is my year. This is the year of the pig.
But they already know you, because it's your year. You're wearing a red everything, But anyway,
I don't have to imagine.
I find it quite funny.
Okay.
I quite find it funny. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So for that, about the Chinese zodiac. So there is it is an equivalent to the horoscope. So the Chinese zodiac is like 12 animals altogether.
Right, yeah.
And there's also a simple story behind it. There are various kind of explanations. And one of them would be, so for 12 animals, they're on duty. And one of them is on duty for each year. And they're taking shifts.
So it's like an animal, like a protector.
Yes, a protector or a guardian. And you are born in the year of the pig, so the pig would be your guardian. And
is a pig actually a good one?
It is a very good one.
Okay.
So talking about that, do you know there's a baby bone?
Now I feel bad for eating pork.
Your own people. So, during the year of the pig, not long ago, there's a baby born. A lot of people would like to if they're calculating, they would like to have golden babies or golden pig, like 金猪年, or pig babies, 猪宝宝. They're calling it.
Yeah, but why?
Because the pig, the shape of it or the character of it. Usually there's a folk tale or there's a story behind it. They're estimating people's character according to the year they were born. Like if you're born in the year of the pig, you're very calm. You're very generous. You don't care that much. The pig, they're eating all day and sleeping all day. No insult to the pig babies. They're eating all day. They're having fun. They don't have that much of a stress. They don't calculate. They just eat and sleep and play. Eat and sleep and play.
Oh, really? So they have a very chilled out
life. Yes,
that's
very
the complete opposite of my life.
Or maybe you're in another horoscope.
Maybe I checked the wrong one.
Or were you born like in the beginning or at the end of the year?
August.
August?
Yeah.
In that case, it doesn't change anything.
Right.
You're still the pig.
I'm still the pig.
You're still pig. Yeah. Okay, so that means your character is very calm and very chilled, and you don't care that much, and you don't calculate much. You're a very calm person. You have a very good personality. So that is why during the year of the pig, there will be a lot of newborn babies.
Right,
because people like this year.
So what about because now we're just getting into the year of the ox.
Yes.
And so where do we rank the ox?
Okay,
in terms of favorite zodiac.
Because you all know that for the farmland work, usually the ox would be those kind of animals who work the hardest.
Yeah.
So that is why it is estimated, or it is in the fairy tales or in the folk tales, that those persons who are born in the year of the ox would be very hardworking. So based on
the farm.
Yeah, based on and you're chilling at home. Yeah. All right, so those are different kind of characters. And for those persons who are born in the year of the monkeys, would have the character like the monkey.
Like very cheeky.
Yeah, very, very cheeky and sometimes very active. So different kind of year with different kind of Chinese zodiacs that somehow in the folk tales determine people's characters. So that is the background story.
This is quite fascinating. I mean, I've lived here for 12 years now. Going 12 years. And I still don't understand a thing, but then again, I when it comes to the Western star signs, I know I'm a Leo, for example. But if you ask me,
Leo. That is why you're not chilled.
But then if you ask me, what is the character of a Leo? I have no idea because I just don't I just don't believe in these things.
It's just a game.
Yeah.
If you believe it, you believe. Yeah.
Yeah, but I find the Chinese zodiacs are quite fascinating. I even tried to watch the movie The 12th Zodiac by Jackie
really?
Chan, and I understood nothing. I was just following the action. But I think when you read deeper into the Chinese zodiacs, it's actually, there's quite a lot of interesting information one can learn from it. And also I can actually see, because in China people actually take this very seriously.
Oh, really?
I mean, at least my friends, they really believe in this stuff, you know. And some of them, I think it's the same thing with Western star signs, where people, like, you go on a date and somebody asks you,
what is your
star
astrology?
sign? I'm like, what has that got to do with anything?
I remember a story that one of my friends said when he went to a blind date with another girl. During that blind date, the first question the girl asked him is not like, what kind of movie do you like, or what is your hobby, but like, what is your zodiac? And he was like, what? But some people believe it. It's fine, you can respect them. And sometimes when there's a saying like, what kind of zodiac, when they're living together, will there be a lot of quarrels? And people believe that, like, who were born in the year of the rooster will not get along with those who were born in the year of the dog.
Because they'll be talking.
They'll be talking all together. Because in Chinese, there's an idiom that calls 鸡飞狗跳.
Right.
鸡飞狗跳, which means the rooster are flying and the little dog is jumping all the time and they're quarreling, they're fighting. So in the Chinese idiom, we have the saying. So that is why when we are...
now you've planted an idea in my head.
So for this kind of story, you believe it, you believe. If you don't, it's fine. It's just like a game.
So is it fair?
Like
but is it fair to sort of assume that if
not
somebody
fair,
is a rooster, they're quarrelsome?
Yeah, not true. As long as they avoid those kind of people who are born in the year of the dog, they're fine. But actually, for those kind of folk tales, it's just like a game. We do not go to that superstitious way of thinking.
Right.
But sometimes it's just fun to think about that. And I know that some friends, when they're talking together, they have they're making it in a fun way. They're quarreling, but they're not actually quarreling. They're not fighting. They're just making fun of each other. And then they're asking each other, so which year were you born? I was born in the year of the rooster. Oh, that is why I'm quarreling with you. I was born in the year of the dog. So it is more like a tale, or people are talking about.
I mean, it's the same thing as, you know, we believe in Santa and stuff like that, and you know, it's something that, you know, brings up the spirit of the season.
Exactly.
You know, without these kind of traditions and beliefs, I mean, the holiday will be very different.
Exactly.
Shall we check to see if people are talking to us?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. So a lot of people would be interested in the Chinese zodiacs, and since we just dip into another topic about the Chinese zodiac, which year were you born? And let us know what is your Chinese zodiac. And right here, we have a lot of new comments. So Giovanni Luca is watching us and said, I would love to see you guys modeling red. That was very ambitious. Yeah, that was very ambitious. And Jessie Hon says, I am a rabbit. I'm a rabbit. So do you know that the character, or like a story behind this Chinese zodiac that says, if you were born in the year of the rabbit, that means you're very hardworking and you're always walking around here and there. You love to exercise a lot because the rabbit always jumping here and there, never rest. And you have a very good character because, you know, the rabbit could be very gentle. It is not as, you know, vicious or like very strong like a tiger.
Just make sure if you're a rabbit, stay away from me because I'm chilling. I'm a pig. You know?
Yeah.
I don't need to be bothered with watching TV and somebody jumping around.
Want to be
don't want to be bothered.
That is a way to put it. So Jessie, you know that. And right now Terry says, red, my favorite character. 红色是我最喜欢的颜色. That is great. You can celebrate the Chinese New Year as well. And right here Jessie says, I hope the rabbit is a good zodiac. So just to be clear, there's no good and bad in the Chinese zodiac.
Yeah.
It's just like a unique character,
a
special one. So there's no good and bad. Pig is a very good one. I'll tell you that. All right, so 生肖 Chinese zodiac. So if you have any questions, you can also watch our live stream and post a question over here. In the comments part, you can also ask a question to my friend Nillah. And right here, you may also notice that there is something else that I have already prepared. The Chinese character of Fu. So we will paste this on the door during the Chinese New Year or even before it to symbolize as a good wish for the upcoming New Year. But somehow we'll paste it upside down. Do you know why?
Why? Because if it's all about, you know, attracting wealth and happiness, then if you put it upside down, then that means you're pouring everything out.
No, actually not, because the Chinese words of upside down, 到了, together with the word is arrived, 到了. It sounds the same. So it means the fortune has arrived. Yeah, so that is why we paste it as an upside down.
Right. Yeah. I thought maybe it meant you have too much good blessings. You need to get rid of some.
That was very generous of you as the person who was born in the year of the pig.
So are they all the same though?
Yeah, I wrote them.
Oh, right.
It's a Chinese calligraphy.
Like that.
Do you know how to write Chinese calligraphy? Have you ever done before?
I think I've tried it before and I was terrible at it.
You're terrible at it?
Yeah.
That was great, because today you're going to do it.
Okay, with your guidance for sure.
All
let's
right.
do this.
Okay, so let's do this.
So did you do all these?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it good?
Well, I wouldn't know because they all look great to me. I don't know like what the standard is.
That is why I asked you, because I didn't know whether it's good or not.
I mean,
they
look professionally done. I mean, if you did not tell me that you wrote these, I would have imagined you bought them from the supermarket like that.
Thank you. I'm so happy to hear that.
Right.
All right, so there are something that I prepared for today's show as well. How to write the Chinese calligraphy and the character of Fu at the end of the show. And I'll show you how to write it, and then you can try it. And this is my gift to you for the Spring Festival.
All right, thank you. I need a lot of good fortune this year.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
All of us do. All right, so
But watch out, because the ink's pouring.
Yeah, thank you. So this is ink, 墨水, 墨水. And
墨水.
Yes, 墨水. And you can have this. Soak in the ink. Okay, the brush, 毛笔, 毛笔.
毛笔.
毛笔. Okay. So right here, we have put this red paper over here. And I'll show you how to write it, and then you can write it.
They're all the same sizes. Why are those much smaller?
Those are for the couplets.
Okay.
And right here, I'll write it up here. I'll show you how to write it, and then I'll let you write it.
Yeah, but you
little by
have
little.
to tell me how, because this I never really understand the strokes order
and
stuff.
Don't worry. This is the third time for me to write it, so I'm not even that good either. But somehow we can try to experience it.
Right.
So for the first one is a dot right here, like this.
Okay.
And then...
So it's from, which hand is this? Left to right?
Yes.
You did
from
like...
left to right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then like this, like a 7, and going upwards. Going upwards?
That's
like
not
this.
really a 7.
It's a 7 like this. Okay. And we have a Z, a lot of land, and then a circle, and going back, having a cross. There you go. Wow. Don't worry, I will hold your hand. I will hold your hand to do it. Okay. So first of all, this is your turn. Yep.
No, put it, okay.
Okay, I'll put it right here.
I need to copy this one.
Okay, there you go. Okay. Let's try it.
So, does it matter if the pattern of this, or anywhere?
Right here in the circle.
Within the circle?
Yes.
Within this circle?
Yeah, sure. But if you are writing it outside of the circle, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, so start with
yep.
that.
Yep.
Why?
And
can
then,
I repeat or no?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Because it didn't show well.
Okay.
I feel like the ink is not enough.
Okay.
Right, okay. And then 7.
Maybe a little bit right here. Okay. There you go.
7.
There you go. And 7. Yep.
And then does
going
it
up right here. Yep. And going back. Cool. Okay, great.
Why is it not going?
Okay. All right, great.
I think I need more ink because I feel like
let's have more.
not.
Okay, your 7 is done, and right now let's let's write over here a lot of farm. So this means a lot, and this is the farmland.
How many 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep,
Oh,
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Circle and then a cross.
And then the cross.
The cross, do you start with the horizontal and then that, or that and then this?
So first of all the circle, and then like this. And
okay,
then
so you
like
start
this.
with the
Yep.
vertical. Okay.
There you go. Okay. So for the
This
character,
is actually fun. Why
is.
haven't I ever bothered with this before?
yeah. So this is
Oh,
like, oh, it's okay. So this is more like a must buy during the Spring Festival in China.
God,
because
watch out.
okay, so because during the Spring Festival, for almost every household, people
Yeah.
will hang the character of Fu to symbolize good fortune and happiness in the coming new year.
Okay, can I do it now?
Yep, sure.
Here?
Right here. There you go.
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
there,
Okay.
2,
Okay.
3,
Okay.
4, and then a
And
circle.
circle. There you go.
Circle.
Okay.
Oh. And then
Okay. And then the cross.
cross. Amen.
Cool. All right. So that's the
I
first
actually
character.
did it.
Yeah, it's very
It's not
good.
as good as yours.
It's
though.
very good.
Mine is all over the place.
No, I think it's good because as long as during the process you're very focused.
I noticed something. It's like all your attention is right here. It's almost hypnotizing.
Yes.
This is really good. I think I'm ending up the supermarket today. Can I get those? Can I get like that, container thing in the supermarket, just like that?
Of course.
Right, great.
Yeah. So this is really good. This is really good. You can hold
did
it
it.
and say some New Year prayers to our audiences around the world. So if you just tuned in, this is Yo-Yo Wo together with my friend Nillah right here today. We're talking a lot about the things that we should be cautious about during our travels outside, and also during this special time. We would like to hope that all of you guys can take good care of yourself. At the same time, the Chinese Spring Festival is around the corner.
And you can also try to, write this.
Yes.
It's actually fascinating.
You
It's
can try
quite
to write
fun.
this.
Yeah.
So this is the character of Fu. So together with this Fu, we would like to wish you a happy Spring Festival. If you can say something to our audiences to give some New Year wishes as well.
Should I say it in Chinese or in English?
If you can say it in
Okay,
Chinese.
so
All right.
I'm just gonna say my favorite Chinese New Year's
Okay.
greetings.
Okay.
Gong xi fa zai.
Yeah, that was great.
Which means may you have a lot of wealth.
Yes. Hope you get rich.
Yeah,
Hope
yeah.
you get rich.
Right, yeah.
So 恭喜发财，春节快乐. And you can also find us on Facebook, search for CRI Learn Chinese. Or you can also follow me on Facebook, search for YOYOWU, Yo-Yo Wo, or directly click the blue or bold name in the caption part today. And this is my friend Nillah up here. We will also have a lot of interesting videos and live streams coming up on videos on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Weibo. Hope you stay tuned. And thank you so much for watching. And all of you guys, please take care. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.